Okay, we have some big news about the remake for The Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion, so I am going to show you some things about the way block currently works in Oblivion, because supposedly block and stamina or fatigue is getting some changes. So I just use console commands to give this tank a bunch of health. I set it to maximum difficulty, and I want to show you if I drain my fatigue to 0. So let's do power attacks, let's jump. I didn't really show this in my stagger video because I didn't think it was that important. I will get staggered more if I have 0 fatigue. All right, come on, guys. I set to max difficulty, even when blocking. All right, it's not that much more, as you probably noticed. I have pretty low fatigue. I'm not getting staggered. This is on max difficulty, so they're hitting hard. Even with that low stamina. So they will do it more. But by about this much stamina, I think that difference goes away. They're really not going to be staggering me anymore. It's pretty much done now. I'm not going to get staggered because I have high armor. Now, if I unequip my armor, that's what makes the difference. Let's take off a few pieces. Oh, man. Let's take off a few pieces. Well, let's keep the shield on, actually. So now I'm going to get staggered more. Here, let's do the mage too. Do I have any 26? I'm missing a couple things. Let's do that off. I have 26 mana. What am I missing? Is it really this giving me 22? Holy moly, that's a lot of armor. Well, now, even with high fatigue, I'm going to be getting staggered a little bit more because armor is what causes you to not get staggered so much. So as you see, I'm getting hit, I'm getting staggered. I can't really keep swinging at him, though, even though I have high fatigue now. So it's not so much that stamina or fatigue is what's punishing. It is not having a lot of armor. So I just wanted to show that. After about 10%, fatigue stops making a difference for your stagger. So if you have absolutely 0, it does make a difference. It's not very noticeable. And as a melee warrior, you want to have your fatigue up because with no fatigue, you do half damage. So you want to keep this at a high percentage as possible. Okay, so let's close out of this, and I want to show you why I'm bringing this up in the first place. So, as I said, there is a big news about the Oblivion remake, and it's everywhere, so you don't need this Game Rant article, but the things that they're talking about is supposedly there are upgrades to stealth, stamina, a revamped HUD, hit reactions, and improved archery. So here's kind of my reactions to each of those. So first, stealth. I don't really stealth anyway. It's just not my thing. Newer games, I think, do it fine. Skyrim does it fine. Oblivion does it fine. I'm not super worried about it. If I hated the system, I'd just use invisibility like I already do. If you really like stealth, let me know your thoughts on this. Do newer games do it better than Oblivion? Do they do it worse? I'd love to know in the comments. I'm just kind of neutral about that. Changes to archery, I feel about the same way. You know, similar to stealth, archery in Oblivion is fine. It's passable. I enjoy it. You know, you get used to like the fall distance of the arrows and the speed. It's good in Skyrim too. So as long as they're not doing anything totally out of the blue that completely changes it way too much from the Elder Scrolls, it should be good. You know, improvements to it sound like a good thing, especially if it just looked cooler, sounded cooler. Now here's where I'm kind of concerned. Block, hit recovery, stamina. In this article, they use the word stamina. In all the articles, they're using the word stamina. And that's like in all of them. It's not just that Game Rant one. And they're also specifically saying that it's going to be more like a Dark Souls system. You know, I think that's even this one, its headline is why I chose it. They're taking some inspiration from Souls-likes. So, you saw me blocking there. It's passable in Oblivion. It's fine. You take a lot less damage. If you have 75 block, you stop 75% damage. You also, that reduction in damage lowers your chance to be staggered by quite a bit. I don't think we need another Souls-like. I think there are so many. What is there? Neo, Lies of P. I don't play these games. I don't like any of them. Sekiro, Bloodborne, Elden Ring. There's 3 Dark Souls. I'm pretty sure Dark Souls 1 came out after Skyrim. So we get like no Elder Scrolls games ever, but we have like a dozen Souls-likes. I don't enjoy them. They're not for me. I get that they're popular, but so are the Elder Scrolls. You know, and I think they don't necessarily cater to the exact same people. So I don't think Oblivion should be changed too much to be like Dark Souls. I just don't think they feel the same or they look the same. And honestly, I want to show you, here's just a quick 20-second clip of Dark Souls combat. One, it's third person, which is a completely different experience. It's got a target lock on. It's all about timing and like watching the animation and memorizing timing, that's not for me. That's not what I'm looking for. The next one, this is Elden Ring. This is a guy doing a guide on like how to be. It says how to become a parry god, and it's all about timing. You see the animation and you block and you get the timing just right. That's the essence of at least what I get with Dark Souls. I watch the animation. It's a slow attack. When do I roll? When do I parry? That's the combat in Dark Souls. You just watch me play in Oblivion. It's nothing like that. I'm not doing timing. Sure, I see the animation, but it's fast. You're not expected to block every attack. You're not expected to roll out of the way. It's get in there and smash each other's skulls into each other, and just someone's going to be standing by the end of it and somebody's not. So I think the idea of changing it to be more like a Souls is a terrible idea. I think Oblivion is unique. There's no other game like it. I don't think you could name any game that even feels anything like Oblivion. Maybe Kingdom Come Deliverance. That game has literally no magic. That's probably the closest game to Oblivion, and there's not a single magic thing in it. And Oblivion has the best magic system in any game ever created, except for maybe other earlier Elder Scrolls games like Morrowind might overtake it. But Oblivion, it's unique, and it shouldn't become like every other game that's third person, this slow combat. There's enough games for people who like that. And if you like it, if this is for you, great, keep playing those games. There's a ton of them for you. But they're not for me. Okay. Also, yes, this society is illiterate. Believe me, if I give kids a word problem, they're not going to get it right. Like, there are so many kids who struggle with word problems. It's a big problem. So I get why the article said stamina and not fatigue. When I first played Morrowind, my brother and I were like, fatigue? What are we reading? What is this? We had to like look in a dictionary for the word fatigued and to find out what it means. But as I showed you, the fatigue system isn't that unforgivable. And if you read these articles, it's saying it's going to make the stamina system, more forgivable, a more forgiving stamina system. It's fine. The hit reactions, it would be nice if the sounds were better and that there was a little bit more oomph to your hits. I do get that. But I'm worried about is that it's going to become like Skyrim, where you can just shield bash and stagger them and then hit them and stagger them. And then enemies can never stagger you. It makes it so easy to just completely dominate because nobody can stagger you and it's really easy to stagger everyone else. I don't think that would be a good thing. Really, the sound is a big thing that should change. And yes, it would be nice maybe if you got staggered a tiny bit less, but I'm worried they're going to way overdo it. But yeah, and as I showed you in the video, fatigue doesn't really make that big of a difference. It is my armor. If you're wearing a lot of armor, you're going to get staggered a lot less. Yes, fatigue makes a difference too. Agility makes a difference, but armor is the most important part. As for the HUD, I like words. I've always loved words. Oblivion doesn't use words. I think the health meter, the health bar in Oblivion is pretty meh. Health bar could use an update. And this is for enemies. So enemy health bar. It just doesn't, it's not very exact. It's like, oh, is he full? Is he dying? I don't know. It's just like that weird half circle thing. It's not that great. So they'll probably make it look more modern. Chances are I won't like the style. I'll be surprised if they kept it in an Oblivion style. Hopefully they do. Hopefully they're able to do that. If devs ever listen to me, I'm just some random old crank, I'd hope they'd add icons to differentiate between the different fortify effects or restore effects. Like if you have restore health and restore fatigue, they look identical right now. I would love if just in small words, right underneath it, it says restore fatigue, restore health, or even just fatigue and health, and it's the heart symbol. So I know, oh, that's restoring my fatigue. And instead of that bar showing you it's got this much time left, just throw a 28 inside of it, a small 28 that ticks down 1 per second. So I know, oh yeah, I have 28 seconds left on my heart, on my restore something. What is it? Fatigue, because it says fatigue right underneath it. I just think that'd be a way better buff system. They're not going to listen to me. They're not going to do that. That's okay. I think the big news today here is, here, let's zoom in a little bit more here because we can't read. It says fans should take this information with a massive grain of salt because Bethesda hasn't confirmed or denied anything. People are still, if you go to YouTube, you'll still see a bunch of, Oblivion Remake confirmed, Oblivion Remake remaster, we got big news, we know exactly what's going on. This could all be fake. We still don't really know anything. It's just, I thought this was interesting that they're talking about, maybe will come in June, that there's upgrades to stealth, a more forgiving stamina system, a revamped HUD, hit reaction, improved archery. I really hope they don't take very much inspiration from Souls-likes. It does not translate well to Oblivion. I think they're so different of games that you would have to slow down combat to such a massive degree to make those systems in Dark Souls and Souls-likes work in Oblivion. And I really hope they don't do that. I think Oblivion combat is fun. It is fast-paced. And yeah, people who don't understand fatigue have a bad time. You know what? Part of a video game is learning about the video game. That's what makes it fun, for me at least. You know, I know some people hate learning. Believe me, I'm a teacher. I know some people hate learning. But learning is fun. You should learn about video games. That makes them more fun. Man, I feel like I'm selling that to my 7th graders and no one's going to listen. That's okay. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed.